Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. It's June 26, 2022. Beautiful day out today. We've got us a cool front come through, so we got us a nice north wind, high of 80 today. So here in the shade, it's really pleasant. So I'm going to take the opportunity with this good weather to get into this beast hive number 16. And I've been thinking about, since it's so big, it's 3 deeps. So that hive, I believe it did swarm, and I split it and put another deep on top of it, and all the brood that they had in there, it just exploded. So I put a 3rd deep on there, and the bees were just rolling out of that 3rd one after I put it on. So man, it is a super strong hive. And someone asked if it's a Wildflower Meadows queen in there. So it's been 3, maybe 4 years ago, I did purchase my first Wildflower Meadows queen, and that happens to be the hive that I put her in. So I remember I split that hive at least once, and so it's at least a daughter, probably a granddaughter, or even a 3rd generation from the Wildflower Meadows queen that was in there originally. So I queened it like in June this time of the year, and they were slow getting started, but the next year, man, they poured it on. I remember that, and I was like, wow, these queens are good. So yeah, it was a Wildflower Meadows queen. So that genetics is in that hive. I just don't know how much it's been diluted. So I have been buying their queens. Every 2 to 3 years, I'll buy a few and just try to infuse that genetics in here. The rest of it's just crossbred from these Oklahoma wild bees. And I do have a beekeeper that has some hives to my north and south a ways, so they're probably intermingling with whatever he has. So today, yeah, I'm gonna try to split this number 16 hive 3 ways. That's my plan. So let's get in there and see what we find. Is it strong enough? So locate the queen, put her in one box, and then I will get brood and eggs and put in the others so they can pull down emergency queens and requeen that way. So let's get started. Okay, here's our hive 16. And if you notice, it's not all bearded out right now. So it's midday, and it was bearded some yesterday evening. It was really hot yesterday. It was 100 degrees. So let's so that top box is the one I added, and after I did the split, I added that middle box. So the bottom box is original. So they, I'm pretty sure, have their original queen, or man, I don't remember if they may have made their own queen. It's queen right. So let's get in there and see if we can divide this up 3 ways. So I got my bee mate hive stand back here so I can set the boxes on here when I go to sorting things out. I'm having a hard time keeping my smoker lit. My fuel got damp the other day, and every time I use it, the fuel that remains, you can put your hand there and you feel it just feels wet. So I need to get me some more pine straw. Leave the lid open like that, maybe it'll get a little more air and stay lit. Quite a few bees up here. Yeah, from the looks of this, I bet we got us a big old honey super right here, basically, is what we've got. The bees up here are chilled out, which is what I want to see. See in here, the bees all looking up at me. They're just chilled out. So hopefully there's a decent population up here, and if that's mostly full of nectar, then we'll split this up amongst the hives. We do our split. So this box was all drawn comb that I was able to put up in here. And this is a fully drawn and capped honey frame, front and back. So after I ran out of supers, we had another, like a secondary flow that I'd never seen before, and another hive that had, I put an empty deep on it. It filled that deep up full of honey in no time. And this was after the main flow, when all my supers were already full and I'm waiting on them to cap off. So if I had more supers, I could have cashed in on that as well. So this is all full of nectar, and it's uncapped on this side. So it appears we have us just a big old box of honey here. We'll go through it though and check them all. Same thing, nectar, nectar, uncapped. So this is good food resource for our splits. This one is fairly empty. It's probably about 25% full of nectar. So they didn't fill it. And this hive was honey bound too. This one's heavier. I'd say this one's about 75% full of nectar. This one is about 90% full. So yeah, this is all going to be a food resource here. So we'll split these up amongst our three-way. Make sure they've all got good nectar. So we're going to wind up with 3 deep boxes here. 3 hives is the plan so far. This one's heavy. It's about 90%. So I need to assess them all and see, you know, are there some that are empty? So I'll know. This is heavy. Don't even need to look at it. Oh, this is capped. I think maybe I put these capped honey frames out on these outsides earlier when I added this. Actually, I'm just going to leave that frame out, and I'm just going to pull this off. I'll be pulling it back out again anyway, so. I've got a spare box up there in the wagons I need to bring down here to use to help sort these out. Oh man. Yeah, that's heavy. Okay, we'll see what we find in here. Hopefully we can find us some brood frames in here. If I remember right, I put some empty frames right here for the queen to lay in. Totally capped off honey frame on both sides. Mostly honey and some empty. And the queen is laying in this a little bit. So if I find my queen, I'm going to put her in a clip. So there might be some eggs in here, so we need to keep that frame in mind. Because in each of our 3 or 2 hives that we don't have a queen in, we need to be sure they have eggs to pull down an emergency queen. This looks the same as that other frame. And she's laying in this a little bit as well. Right in here. I'm going to clean up these little bridges while I'm in here. And here's our queen. Okay, we got our queen here. So here's a frame with eggs. So I'm going to grab this. So that will be one of our queenless hive starts right there. So I put that there in that empty box, so I'll start filling that out. So I can grab 3 food frames, and I need to get a pollen frame, at least 1, which we should have plenty. I'm gonna move this queen and set her over here on this honey box. Make sure she's in the shade there. And if I find more eggs, then I can start working on this other one. Tell you what, let me go ahead and make me some space over there. So here's food frame, nectar, and honey. We want at least 3 of these. So one will have 4, the other 2 will have 3. I think I'll get that one here that's, I think it was solid honey. Oh, mercy, that's heavy. I'll get that there. So now we need a little bit more brood to go along with that. This is pollen. So we can put this next to that frame where she was laying. And here's larva. So we'll get that on the other side of the one where she was laying. So this hive has basically everything it needs right now. I'd like to get another frame that has some more eggs in it. Give them a few more to choose from. Here's one here. So I'm gonna put it right up next to that one, the other one that had eggs. So this hive here is basically done. I just need to fill it in with some other food frames. So it needs 2 more frames. So for our third split, we'll use this box right here, and I need to make sure there's eggs in here. And then we'll leave our queen in this bottom box right here. So far so good. We just need to find some more frames with eggs and we'll be set. I'm afraid I may have used them all up. There's some larvae here, so that's good, but I need eggs. Very young larvae there. If I look close, I might find some eggs in there. And this is pollen. I may have to bring one of those frames from over there back, depending on what we find in the bottom. That's a solid honey frame. Let me check this one again. So I remember I said I saw some eggs on there. It's really hard to tell. There's some very young larvae, possibly eggs on this. So this will be our second split. So we still need some, this one is good. This one we need a frame of eggs that we're sure about. So I'm going to set it over there. Hopefully we can find some brood down in here with eggs. It's a solid honey frame. Solid honey. Lots of pollen here. Maybe we'll get into some brood. We haven't seen a lot of brood yet. Yeah, here's us a good solid brood frame. She's done some backfilling on this. I see some very young larvae, but I'm not seeing eggs. That's what I want to see. There's probably some in here. It's just to spot one. I can see better without this magnifying glass. That thing's terrible. First time I tried it. We're going to try this one. And this one. There's also a lot of pollen on here. And that's a fairly empty frame, so that'll be good for laying. Put another food frame in there on the outside. So we need to be sure we've got some good laying space for this queen right here with some empty cells, because we're going to put her back in here. So that's a brood frame, lots of pollen, so she could backfill on that. Same here. Gosh, I really need some empty comb. This hive is so strong. Yeah, here's one here. I think we're good on this one to turn her loose back in. You know, we could put an empty box of undrawn up here and pull up a brood frame. I think that's what I'll do. I got to run and get one. Be right back. Okay, got me another box right here with 10 waxed frames. We're getting a lot of bees in the air. I think that's probably mainly from this hive, but you don't want to leave this out like this long. So I'm going to get 2 of these waxed frames blank, checker them in down here. Actually, I want one of these brood frames to pull up as well, to put in the box that's going to go on the top. And this is one of those. So I want some natural comb color. So you can see we've got our 10 frames here now. I checkered in some undrawn waxed frames, so that queen, they can draw this out if there's enough flow left, which there may not be. I'm gonna release my queen now. Lighting is really bad. There she is right there. She's on the hive tool. Right here. She just went down in between the frames. She went right there. Okay, got that other box on there. We got the one brood frame there we pulled up. I'll grab these honey frames down here below and we'll put them on the outside, and we'll go from there. So this box here is going to get all the field bees that are out foraging coming back to it as well. See, I want that close to the middle. So we just need one more frame here. 3, 6, 9, this will make 10. Okay, here's our queen right hive. We need to take care of these over here. So I need to get a bottom box and get those remaining 4 frames over into these 2. And these 2 will be our queenless splits. Got a lot of nectar in it, and that's a solid honey frame there. So last one. Oh man. Ugh. Oh wow, those are heavy. Oh, that's awkward. This 4x4 here is twisted, so we need to shim this in the front a little bit so it's not leaning so far forward. And this is a 2x4 stand. I made it for nukes. Never intended to put full-size eyes on this, but maybe it's temporary, we'll see. I need one more lid. Yeah, so I'm completely out of lids. I was able to find this old migratory cover I made a long time ago. I'll just put it on top of this inner cover. But I need to make me some more lids, apparently. Yeah, because I had never, so this is going to put me over 30 deep, or 10 frame hives, and I never intended to have that many, so that's why I ran out, I suppose. And yeah, one of my nukes, I put it into a 10 frame deep as well, so that took another one away. So that's 3 short that or 3 more than I had intended to ever have. So yeah, what's got into me? Beekeeping math, I guess. I felt the need to split that thing, and the only place I have to put them is right down here. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm concerned about these 2. I really was not happy with the brood frames that I put in here as far as eggs on them. I didn't see a bunch of eggs like I like to have in here for them to pull down their emergency queen cells. So I'll check these next weekend and see if they're pulling down emergency queen cells, because they got to have, you want the youngest egg possible, and the bees know which ones they want to use. So you want a young egg before it's hatched. So I think eggs hatch on the 4th day, the 3rd, 4th day. So that queen looked like she had slowed down laying, which we're coming into the middle of the summer. Nectar flow is slowing down, so she's going to slow down her laying. So that's probably what's going on. So that's it. Check back in later and we'll go through these and see how they're doing. Give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. We're 150 away from 10,000, so we'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.